I live in Mexico, and my husband and I retired there 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago now. I was having a lot of pain for a long time, and I kept thinking I just want to push it off as long as possible because I know hip replacements don't last forever. And that was a hard decision because I would have a number of good days in a row, and I would think, I really don't need to even be considering this. But then I would have a bad day, and I would go, I think I do need to consider it. I couldn't go to the exercise classes. I had stopped horseback riding. I had stopped playing tennis. Really, a lot of the activities that I enjoyed. What I was really left with was walking. I met a woman at a party in Mexico who was just doing great 3 months out of surgery. She was dancing up a storm, and I thought, whatever she had, I want. And she sent me an email. She told me about this new operating table, a HANA table, which allows for an anterior approach, which is an approach on the front part of your leg by the hip instead of a posterior approach. And I read about it. I did a lot of research on the internet, and I found that with the anterior approach, no muscles are cut. And I'm not a doctor. I don't know a lot about it, but I thought, no muscles cut means faster recovery. And that was one of my goals, to get up and about as quickly as possible. I heard about Dr. Tomek from my friend, who happens to be a physical therapist here in town. And we've been friends for a long time, and we were on vacation together, and he told me about his experience last year getting a resurfacing with Dr. Tomek. And he couldn't say enough good things about Dr. Tomek, and he actually said, why don't you come up here and have your surgery here with Dr. Tomek? And at the time I thought, all the way from Mexico, come all the way up here, can I go any farther to go get a surgery? But the more I thought about it and the more I researched it, the more I began to talk to Deb Jadzak, the nurse coordinator here, the more confident I felt about it. I just felt this is where I want to have it done. Here at Dartmouth-Hitchcock, Deb Jadzak, the nurse coordinator for the ortho department, was wonderful. She was willing to take my Skype phone calls. She was willing to email me, and we emailed back and forth a number of times before I even made the decision to come to Dartmouth. I wanted to find out, do they have the HANA table? I wanted to get some other questions answered. How long will I have to be here? How long after I see the doctor will I be able to have the surgery? So I had a lot of questions, preliminary questions, before I even made that decision to come to Dartmouth. Dr. Tomek was extremely knowledgeable, as I said, very patient. He was able to answer my questions in the way I needed to have them answered. He showed me what my hip looked like on the x-ray. We talked about the various different options, and there were a lot of options to consider. There was what approach to consider. There was what types of materials to use. One thing I was surprised about when I went for my pre-op appointments, I had to go to x-ray, I had to go to a number of different departments, and I had forgotten to bring a book with me because I've had that experience before when you go to a hospital and you're there all day, you're waiting for hours to see people. And I thought, okay, well then I'll just read magazines. I don't think I got through one article because all my appointments were just right on time. I mean, I went from one appointment to another appointment to another appointment with no waiting. I've been out of surgery only 2 weeks and 2 days. And here's the way it goes. 2 days after my surgery, I came home with just one crutch. I came up 2 flights of stairs with just one crutch. By the third day, the PT came to the house and had me walking with no aids, no walker, no crutch, anything. That was the third day. The fourth day, I went out to Ben & Jerry's for ice cream. And every day since then, I've been out around town shopping, whatever I want to do, going to farmers markets. I have been absolutely, totally amazed at how quickly I was up and about. And not only that, how little pain I had. I mean, I'm not having the kind of pain that I had previously, for one thing. The worst part for me previously was that my bone would catch. It felt like it would lock. And even at night, if I'm laying in bed, it would lock on me, and to unlock it was excruciating. It was horrible. I'm not having any of that now. The only pain that I'm feeling a little bit now is a soreness around the incision as that's beginning to heal. It's a little bit tender, and I'll ice that during the day when it starts to get a little tender. But again, I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, the most pain I had was about a 3 on a scale of 1 to 10, and most of the time it was hovering between a 0 and a 1. I mean, to me, that's almost unbelievable. And I think that's the hardest part when people are considering whether or not they're ready for surgery, because it is unpredictable. You think on the good days or the good moments that you can keep going like that. But what I saw, because I had an x-ray about 2 years ago, and at that time a doctor in another state told me I wasn't a candidate for surgery. But in between that time and the time when I did get surgery and I saw it was bone on bone, I realized, wow, there was a lot of damage in just a couple of years. I want to do everything I haven't been able to do. I don't want my life hindered by the kind of pain that I was experiencing before.